Si se para aquí, por favor. Vamos para acá.
Ms. Burgos. Are you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
Ms. Burgos, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 45 days in jail with 15 days credit. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You need to understand that after today, this charge will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. If you ever get pulled over in a car and you smell like alcohol or dope, and an officer sees this, it's probably not going to go well for you. From now on, you are looking at a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged directly in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Knowing all this, do you still want to do this?
Yes,
How do you plead to the driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
And I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. I'm going to suspend your ability to drive or your ability to get a license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, man. Thank you.
But you had my signature.
Mr. Ruba, you were placed on probation for racing on a highway. It has now come to my attention that you have now violated this probation. Is it true or untrue?
Sure.
Okay, I'm now going to revoke your probation and reform the judgment. It will now reflect as a conviction on your record. The agreement is 30 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you have done. I am allowing you to turn yourself in April 18th, 2025 by 6 p.m. If you fail to turn yourself in, we will have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand? If you are someone who is perpetually late to everything, this is one of the worst things because if you arrive at 6:01, they will not take you and it will not go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. So is it true or untrue that you violated your probation?
Yes, I did.
Is it true or untrue? It's true. All right. I'm going to find that it's true. Do you have a copy of the motion? Which one are we going with? Is it the one failure to do the effective decision making? I think so, yes. Yeah, let's do the effective decision making. All right. All right. Mr. Rubio, I don't know if DPS is going to suspend your license. If you don't have a license, do not drive. If you don't have a license and liability, don't drive, because if you get into an accident, you maim someone, they're going to come after you for $50,000 to $100,000, and then you're going to be in the hole forever. You understand? All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Can we get a nollie on that second case?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Morning, sir.
How's jail?
I don't like it.
You know, you failed to appear 2, if not 3 times for these cases. Listen,
Okay, I'm sorry.
all I'm trying to tell you is that when you appear for court, good things happen. We have such reasonable prosecutors here. All you have to do is show up, and 9 times out of 10, good things happen. But when you fail to appear repeatedly, you now are deemed a flight risk. This is what happens. You need to understand one more thing. As a result of what we're doing today, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with terroristic threat of a family or household member. You're also charged with criminal mischief. The plea bargain agreement you have worked out, they're going to dismiss the criminal mischief. They're also going to reduce your terroristic threat to a Class B. So now you're facing only 180 days and or a $2,000 fine. $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 13 days in jail with credit for the 13 days that you have done. By pleading guilty, like I said, this will reflect as a conviction. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes,
How do you plead to the terroristic threat? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to withhold, or I'm going to find you guilty, send it to you to the agreement. The only other thing I'm going to tell you is that whatever you did to pick up these cases, I would be very careful, because if you continue with the same course of conduct, it's very possible they charge you with a more serious offense. All right?
Yes, sir.
Good luck, sir. And next time, show up. All right.
Good luck.
Take care. You're Jeffrey Chauvin.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chauvin, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're also charged with resisting arrest. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, please.
On March 5th, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a trespasser call at a Whataburger in Harris County, Texas. Complaining witness, an employee, stated that she told the defendant who was in their dumpster in the parking lot to leave, and defendant refused. Staff tried to tell the defendant to leave again at 1 a.m. and defendant stated that he would leave in an hour. At 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., defendant was still refusing to leave after being asked to do so multiple times. At 5 a.m., the trash company came. Defendant refused to come out, so they could not pick up the trash. The officer observed defendant in the dumpster and asked him multiple times to come out and that he had been trespassed from the location, but defendant continued to refuse for about 30 minutes. The officer asked the defendant if he would be willing to go to the jail diversion center, and defendant said yes. The officer handcuffed the defendant so he could eat food. Officers provided him. The officer went to reapply handcuffs, but the defendant resisted passively by not following officer commands to lean forward. The defendant verbally stated, "No, I'm going to keep my hands here." After several attempts and defendant not following verbal commands, the officers removed the defendant from the vehicle and put him on the ground so he would not hit his head. While officers attempted to handcuff the defendant actively resisted by pulling his arms away from officers. The officers still took defendant to the jail diversion center, but upon arrival, the defendant said he did not want to be there and just wanted to be released, so he was rejected. While en route, defendant had taken his seatbelt off, put his handcuffs in front of his body. The officers told the defendant he would have to be handcuffed behind his back, and the defendant agreed. Officers told the defendant to lean forward, and defendant stated, "No, you're going to have to shoot me," and actively resisted by pushing his body onto the officers in an attempt to escape from the patrol vehicle. Defendant stated he would stop resisting once officers loosened up control, and when officers did, he would go back to actively resisting by attempting to get out. The officer was eventually able to secure the defendant. Defendant broke the officer's nail on the right hand, and officer sustained minor bruises to his finger and forearm.
I'm charged with the assault. I'm a peace officer, Mr. Chauvin. I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Do not go back to this Whataburger.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do not go back to this Whataburger. Do not pick up any new cases and show up to court. When you show up to court, good things happen. If you take off again, it's not going to go well. We've already given you, this is your second PR bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I was not told I had court the first time. I was homeless. I was sleeping in the dumpster.
Okay, well,
when
look,
woke
I don't want
up-
you to say anything now because I don't want you to hurt yourself. Let me give you a lawyer. They'll be able to talk to the lawyer how to resolve this case. Just, we're going to give you a future court date, most probably. If you miss it again, I'm going to issue a warrant. You're not going to get a third PR bond. Do you understand?
I have to remain in Houston until this.
Well, let me get you a lawyer. We can talk and try to see how we go forward. For now, let me just have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box, and then we're going to get you a lawyer here momentarily. Okay? Please.
All right, go ahead and see the judge.
Are you Alfredo Gutierrez?
Sure.
Mr. Gutierrez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. As you can see, your lawyer is here with you, not in person, but on Zoom, so that you're not here alone. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay. Please.
Right, just have one moment. I'm sorry, it's been a little slow this morning.
Okay, no problem. Oh, I see. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On that case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Okay.
On March 25th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer responded to a single vehicle accident and made contact with the defendant, who stated that he was just being stupid and spun out and hit a pole. The law enforcement officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes and a mild odor of alcoholic beverages emitting from his person. The defendant admitted to drinking one beer. Standardized blood sobriety tests were conducted, and the law enforcement officer observed 6 out of 6 on the HGN test, 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand, and 3 out of 8 on walk and turn. The defendant consented to a breath specimen and blew .078 and .074. Law enforcement officers also found a loaded handgun in the center console of the vehicle.
Okay. Any prior DUIs?
No, Your Honor.
You've run his NCIC?
Yes, Your Honor.
Driver's license?
Still.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Mr. Gutierrez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? As long as you have a valid license and liability insurance in your name, then you may continue to drive. If you don't have either, then you're not allowed to drive, and that is also a condition of your bond.
Correct.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Davila, and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you're ducking and dodging phone calls, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't pick up any new cases. I'll have you go to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and then you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
And
Your
this one, he only has a problem with this one here, so just this particular.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Should sign for your leave that, please?
You are Mr. Scott Sanders. Mr. Sanders, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 25th, 2025, officers initiated a subject stop at a Walgreens on East Mount Houston Road, Harris County, Texas. Officers observed a defendant sitting outside the entry holding a brown cardboard sign, panhandling. Officers approached the defendant. Defendant stated, "Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. They told me to leave. I'm leaving. Don't take me to jail." Officers asked consent to pat down the defendant. The defendant consented to the pat down. The officers observed a green leafy substance in a plastic bag located on defendant's person. Defendant stated he forgot the marijuana was there, but that it was only kush. Officers observed an additional plastic bag containing a green leafy substance. The officers observed the marijuana to weigh 0.045 ounces. The complaining witness was identified by their Texas driver's license and advised that the defendant has shoplifted multiple times and has been trespassed. Complaining witness informed the officers that complaining witness asked the defendant to leave prior to the officer's arrival. Complaining witness advised officers the defendant initially left the property. Complaining witness was unaware of the defendant's return to the store until the officers contacted him outside the store. Officers note defendant's theft case was against that Walgreens and was dismissed. Officer notes that the defendant has been criminally trespassed from the same Walgreens. Officers also noted that they did observe a meth or crack pipe on the defendant's person. The complainant was able to identify the defendant based on the previous mugshot.
Mr. Sanders, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case.
Yes,
Let me provide you a lawyer today so that you can talk to someone about this case. All right. For now, do not go back to this Walgreens. Let's not talk about this case because you have the right to remain silent. I don't want you to say something that hurts your case.
They want to say something about seeking treatment.
Okay. Let me get you a lawyer first and then we can talk about it and we'll try to help you as much as we can. Okay. Vic, do you mind?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria and then we'll have you take your seat in the jury box, sir. Okay.
Right this way. Go ahead.